right now I think the sky's the limit, and the kids who are in our schools right now are going to be the ones designing the next big thing.
I don't even know when I used the internet for the first time.
That's back.
Yeah.
Well, technology is basically like my whole life. Like, not my whole life, but like a big part of it. Like, I use it at home, here, on the way home, with my friends. Like, I have a computer, so like I could chat with friends on the computer, like face to face, and like chat, emailing and stuff.
I do believe that the internet has completely changed education. It's going to continue to. I think we're going to see more technology in school that kids can access. To a degree, all of this stuff is available to them, but it still does end up a lot of like the teacher showing the students something up on the board. But I think that's going to happen more and more. The students are going to be the ones with their hands on all this stuff.
They say that it's good when you assess a student, if you want them to have full brain function, that they have two types of cognitive thought going on. The first type is what they call vertical thought, and that's when there's one correct answer for what you're asking. And the second way is when you ask the students to do decision making, and when they're using their decision making skills, they have to incorporate some of their personal choice into it. And so when they have a personal preference with that, that actually utilizes the full brain, and that's what we're doing in programming.
We're much more sequential, this older generation. These digital natives, these young kids, they think in patterns, which is why they can do all these things. And for us to take all these kids whose brains just fire in these patterns and can assimilate so much knowledge from all these different inputs, to take them, sit them in a chair and tell them, okay, we're going to do it in this fashion because this is what we've done for a long time and it worked. It doesn't work as well, and we lose these fringes. But if I can present the information to them in patterns that they're used to, they're comfortable with, they're pretty excited. And if you look at my classes, they get kind of jumpy at times, but there's a lot going on and there's a lot of information. And you look around my room, I've got stuff everywhere because I want them to see, I want them to hear, I want them to smell science happening in this room. And I think this machine and all the other machines that we use, you know, the scanner and all that kind of stuff, it helps us go on. I mean, kids are just alive.
Students are becoming more visual learners because of everything that they do visually with cell phones, with computers, with video games. They seem like they're becoming more visual learners. So this is helping them, whereas before we would only have a dry erase board or the overhead. This is a much more engaging, interactive, visual way to learn.
Right now, you can't even know what jobs are going to be available for these kids. The fact that they know how to use the tools and have access to those now in school and are being taught by their teachers on how to use these tools to distinguish information and to evolve their thoughts and to discover new things is fantastic. And the Promethean boards have been amazing.
Tamara Taylor is our new superintendent. She's been here 2 years now, and she came out of San Juan District up in Sacramento, where they had these boards, and she was convinced that they were, in fact, one of the more powerful teaching tools out there. And it's a tool. It's not going to take over for the teacher, but it's a tool the teacher can use. And so she was committed to bringing them here. She came in, and she's really creative. She looked around, and she said, you know, if we attach these boards to the walls, they're part of the structure of the building. They're part of the infrastructure. And therefore, we can use this construction money that can't be used in the classroom for salaries. It can't be used in the classroom for materials. It has to be building oriented. Then all of the stuff to make them run becomes support for that structure so we can still use that money. So it's not money that could be used in a classroom to buy paper and pencils. And it can't be used for salaries. It could be used for building another building, but we don't need another building. This, to me, is a beautiful way to use that money. I mean, we now have 21st century classrooms.
Technology to me is basically an amplification of what you can already do while adding on a bunch of new stuff. The Promethean board is basically what you can do on a regular whiteboard, except all this new stuff like flip charts, and you can show videos, pictures, surf online, basically that.
It's better because like you don't have to go from one place to another to look stuff up. You could just look it up on the Promethean board as you're teaching the lessons.
Well, yeah, I kind of feel like more excited because I know that there's going to be like some more fun in the classroom than how it used to be.
These little videos that I can use in class, it just gets kids so excited about what's going on. I mean, they can actually see what's happening in a cell, or they can actually see how these organisms look from halfway around the world. So they're going to watch these chromosomes duplicate and then line up and go through all the steps. So it's as if they're just swimming in the cell with it. And if you don't think I have every kid riveted on what's going on, I mean, no one's got side conversations. They're all looking, they're seeing this, oh yeah, I can see where it lines up. Oh, they're the spindle fibers. So it's like automatic reinforcement for what we just talked about.
And if you put an image up, the students are going to interact immediately with that image. If it's a world-class image, every picture tells a story, don't it? So the more picture you have, the more story. The more story, the more learning happens in a classroom. So if you're confronted with a world-class image, learning's gonna happen.
I honestly think the active expressions is the coolest and the most exciting part. It's not perfect yet, it's still small keys and it's like texting on a cell phone. Eventually I would like to see every kid with like a real keyboard on their desk. But I think that this is the most exciting part of it.
It's wonderful that they're able to use technology while they're learning. It enhances it, and I can save the flip chart later and look back and see their answers and be able to have my teaching informed from the assessments done.
They look forward to texting. This is my second year with the board, and a lot of the kids that I have right now had it last year. It still works for them. They still love to use them.
If we can take the opportunities we have with education to make it about ways that they can see that they're actually successful, it will only make them want to learn more.
Miss Revisk, the computer teacher, kind of chose us. She said that they were doing a tech program to help with the Promethean boards, and we get to learn all the stuff about it. And she was our computer teacher, so she knew we were good with the technology. So she asked us, and we were like, yeah, sure.
If you look at this happening in our district right now, it's incredibly exciting because there's a statistic I used to like to quote, and it is cutting-edge research in the medical field will be implemented in regular practice within 2 years. Cutting-edge research in the business field will be implemented within 5 years. But cutting-edge research in education is within 25 years. So nearly an entire career before the new stuff gets out there. And I think we're on the edge. I mean, this hasn't been around that long, and we've got it in every classroom, and it's pretty exciting.